Say hi to the people.
What's up, everybody? Hi, guys.
Sadiq?
What's up, guys?
Sadiq, they can't see you, big fella.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be better for you to get in between me and Vernon. I have two young BPM soldiers with me. I'm also gonna have a group of my BPM leadership core youth this weekend. You're gonna see us doing a lot, getting these young men ready to take over. And we're going to be training them. They're going to be getting some extra training. I won't have the whole BPM clique because there's about 100 of them now. But I am going to have my core leaders, and we're going to be teaching them how to make sure they never end up dealing with some of the issues that we're going to talk about today. So, with all that being said, Sadiq, did you say hey, Sadiq?
Oh, yeah.
Did you speak to the people, Sadiq?
Oh, what's up, everybody?
Say here, Facebook.
Facebook over here, Sadiq. All right, here we go. Now, I titled this discussion, Deadbeat Dads and Ghetto Drama Baby Mommas. And that's kind of a, catchy, a controversial topic. I mean, not topic, but title for a discussion. But that's exactly what we're dealing with. And we're having people that are supposed to be about raising their kids, that were never raised themselves, and who don't have the proper mindset, maturity, ideology, experience, or strength to do what they need to do as parents. So, I want to start this discussion by talking about the importance of forming black families. There was once a time where this would go without saying. We knew that a man should go out and find him a wife, that they should get together, work together, and build a family, that they should raise some kids, that they should make some money, accumulate some property and some wealth, pass that along, and do the best that they could given their circumstances. Those days seem to be gone. Some people don't even understand that we need families or what a family is. And so I want to start with the importance of starting families. Number one, the black man and the black woman are the best and only way to start a family. That's the only combination that will work. That's the only combination. That's the best combination. That's the most powerful combination. And this is so because we understand each other the best, right? A man is going to need the counterbalance of a black man is going to need the counterbalance of a black woman, and that black woman is going to need the counterbalance of the black man. And whenever you try to throw that off, you're dealing with an off-balance situation that's going to create more issues and anxieties than we had in the first place. That's number one. Number two, black family formation is so important because this is the only way, the best way to raise black children. A black child needs a mother and a father. They need the masculine and the feminine. They need the strength and discipline and the nurturer. They need the strength and the iron fist, and they need the caring. They need both. And no one can do black manhood like the black man, and no one can do black womanhood like the black woman, and the child needs both, right? And as Dr. John Henry Clark said, anybody who thinks their conscience, anybody who's supposed to be a black nationalist about nation building, you can't build a nation until you build a community. And you can't build communities until you build families. So we should not be aiming to be baby mamas and baby daddies. We should be aiming to build strong black families. Vern?
That's 100% correct.
And why is there no other way? Are there other ways that we could do this?
No, there's no other way that you can create a black family than a black man and a black woman under a black guy.
Well, is there another way that we could get to building black communities and a black nation without black families? Do we really need that?
Absolutely. The black family is the first step to a black nation.
Okay. Well, I guess Big Vern is on board with that. What about you, Sadiq? Do you feel like we can build the black community, black people back up without families?
We have to have families, because if we have a mom and a dad in the family and they have kids, the cycle can keep going on and on until
Correct. Now, just think about that. Now, he used the term the cycle. And normally when we hear about that cycle, listen in terms of dads in jail, single mom, poverty, crime, prison. Start over again, the cycle. But Sadiq just said when you have strong black families, you start another cycle. Strength, balanced kids, success. You passing on some wealth. That kid ain't starting out with bad credit. Now you starting another cycle. You see what I'm saying? A success cycle. That's what we need to start. Good job, Sadiq. Now, I know I'm supposed to be getting to the baby mamas, but I got to stay on the black family for one more second. I believe that we can tell how important the black family is if we just look at how harshly and how fiercely the black family has been attacked, right? Those that don't want to see us progress as a people, they know that the family is the way you transmit a people's culture. It's the way you transmit people's knowledge of self. It's the way you transmit a people's identity to the next generation. Now, whenever a group of people, an oppressive group of people, goes in to marginalize, imperialize, and destroy a weaker group, they want to destroy that other group's identity. They want to destroy that other group's history. They want to destroy that other group's view of themselves and replace it, right? And so if that's the case, you have to destroy the family. Because that dad and that mom is going to teach about grandma and grandpa, great-grandma and great-grandpa, great-great-great, all the way back. We're going to pass that along. This is how we live. This is what we do. These are the things we don't do. If you want to wipe out a people, you wipe out the family. So that child won't be getting any of that. So how do you feel about a strong black man with a black woman that you have kids by and you've tried your best and it doesn't work? Do you feel it's okay to move on? I'll move on to that question in a second. But let me stay on my thing here because I'm still talking about the black family. All right. So the black family came under attack to such an extent that they had it in our music, right? Instead of saying husband and wife, honey, and things of that nature, when I was growing up, one of the most popular songs, I don't know if this might have been before y'all time, one of the most popular songs they had was just, that's just my baby daddy. Did y'all ever hear that song? Do you see? That's just my baby mama. They had one for baby daddies and baby mamas. This is the shit that they pushed upon us. And we just thought it was funny, just like Joanna, man, and Tyler Perry. A lot of stuff that they push on us, they push it on us as comedy till it becomes a reality, right? We started off laughing at Tyler Perry when he was just doing the stage plays till he was all the way in Hollywood and Magic Johnson, 335,000 pound damn son came out in the dress. Did you see him? Yeah, Magic Johnson got about a 6'4" son, about 350 pounds, thinks he's a woman, right? So a lot of the stuff that they want to push upon us, we start off laughing. We had a song, that's just my baby mama, that's just my baby mama. Till there ain't no more husbands and wives. It ain't nothing but baby mamas and baby daddy. That's a despicable place for us to be as a community. Now, I heard a black feminist. There was a black feminist, and she's a pro-LGBT, Black Lives Matter, anti-alpha male black feminist. And I don't know how she ended up on my Facebook because I blocked her one time. She changed her name and came back, right? I was on my Facebook. I was advocating for the black family. I teach all my boys in BPM that you're going to find your black woman. You're going to marry her, a good black woman, when you find the right one. You're going to marry her. You're going to do your job as a man. You're going to raise some black children, and you're going to build your community. That's the only way to be a black man. There's no other way. Is there another way, Sadiq? There's no other way. So this black feminist came on my page and she told me that the black family, the idea of a black family, husband, wife, and child under God, she told me that that was an illusion, that it's never been real. This is what the black feminist told me. The black feminist told me that the black family structure was an illusion. What's an illusion, Zeke?
Something that's not real.
It's not real. It's never been real. I said, wait a minute, black feminists. You're delusional. Because up until the mid-1960s, over 75% of black children were born into wedlock, meaning there was a husband, there was a wife, they were married, they were building, and that's the environment that we were bringing our children into, right? Think about it now. So it couldn't be an illusion if over 75% of us were doing it. That means it's pretty damn real, right? Okay, this was up in the 1960s. What else were we doing in the 1960s as black people? Any idea, Vern?
Building businesses.
Building businesses. What else, Sadiq?
Sticking together.
Sticking together. Is it just a coincidence that when we were forming families, businesses, transmitting our culture and our identity, that we were also carrying on the civil rights struggle, right? We were fighting for our economic empowerment. We were fighting for our political power. We were together, right? When we had families. Is that a coincidence? Because now, without the families, we ain't got nothing around here but an old bootleg LGBT organization like Black Lives Matter. Is that the best we can do? Hell no. When we had families, we had men like Robert F. Williams. We had the Nation of Islam. We had Dr. Martin. We were pushing and forcing our way forward, right? Because when you have the family, you have the foundation. But when you destroy the family, it all goes awry. So we absolutely need families, as evident by the situation that we in today. We too busy just trying to, we got so many of our men locked up in prison. That's a direct result of not having families. We got so many of our women on public housing. We ain't got time to worry about a movement. They got us so brainwashed, we worry about a movement into the nightclub, right? Mm-hmm. So, when we had families, we had a movement. Now, so the sister told me that our families were an illusion. I let her know right off the top. That's just statistically a lie. We are capable of building families. We have done it before. We are doing it again. We just got to get our people to wake up and get on code. Now, this is one thing that I find funny. This is one thing that I really find funny. I'm going to take my hat off for this one. We have people now. Peace to the African Empowerment Network in Florida We have people now who will claim to be conscious, right? We have black women who are supposed to be conscious, who are supposed to be woke, but yet see no need for a black man and identify as lesbian. Now, Vern, how is that ironic and contradictory?
Talking about, you said with the ump?
Mm-mm.
One more time, what you said?
Black women that claim to be conscious and woke.
Mm-hmm. I got it. Mm-hmm. If you were quote unquote conscious, you would know that the first steps to rebuilding the black nation is the black family, and you can't do that being lesbian or gay.
Well, why would you know that?
No, that's the first step.
Yeah.
Oh, because you would be well read in the history and stuff like that. If you were actually.
And what in the history would tell you that?
Well, things from Africa, and even like you said, up until the mid to late 1960s, we had a lot of families. We had the family structure together, and way back in Africa, that's how we were. We had the family structure.
Correct. And let me tell you something about the word lesbian. For all you sisters who claim to be a lesbian, the word lesbian comes from the island of Lesbos. That was an island near ancient Greece, where the Greek women would go to play with sex toys and be prostitutes and perform. They were very famous for being able to perform fellatio, so they weren't all the way gay. They were just confused. They were famous for giving men fellatio, and it was the island of Lesbos. So you claiming to be conscious, but you going around naming yourself after the island of Lesbos, which is a Greek island, okay? Now, what about men, black men who claim to be conscious, like Cleo Monago, but they also claim to be same gender loving, Let me tell you something. I'm going to take this one, Vern. A black man who has abandoned the black woman and is not going to build a black family is of no service to the black community. All right? We have sisters out here, and I'm talking about many of them, looking for a good black man. I'm talking about beautiful, intelligent sisters. And they're not going to find one very soon because their black men are same-gender loving, right? And so if you are conscious at all, and if you study the basic meaning of the yonk, what is it? The woman, the feminine, the womb, the man, the phallus, and the children that they produce, is the coming together of the feminine and the masculine to produce life. It's the key to life. Now, how in the hell do you get lesbian or homosexual out of the yonk? I don't know, but that's just another attack upon the black family. All right, I hope I asked the question because somebody asked, what does the yonk mean? Here's another way they attack the black family. You outsource all of the blue-collar jobs, right? All the jobs that you can get with just a basic education, work with your hands, make a good living, take care of the family. You send those out of the country over to Mexico or some sweatshops in China or somewhere. Now, while you're sending out the jobs, you're bringing in the crack and you're bringing in the you're bringing in the guns. How can that affect the black family, Vern?
Well, if people don't have jobs, they're gonna turn to any form of survival they can get. And if you're insourcing drugs and guns, obviously they're gonna turn to those things as forms of income, and that obviously could lead to disastrous results.
Correct, and this is exactly what Ronald Reagan did in the early 1980s. I just got to get through these attacks real quick before we get to the deadbeats. So you take out the jobs, bring in the drugs, bring in the crack. Ronald Reagan, that was his whole campaign in the early 80s. All right, that's going to give you a greater ability to incarcerate the black males, to lock us up, take the dads out of the household, take the fathers away, and then you can convince the women that don't worry about it, that they locked up. You can just get public assistance, right? So now you don't have nobody to help you raise these children. You don't have the masculine presence. You don't have the discipline in the household. Hey, but you can get food stamps, so you're good to go, right? And you, with all these more current phenomenon, we must take into account the fact that throughout our time on the plantation, they worked hard as hell to tear our families apart. Selling children to different states, sell the husband over here, use him to impregnate as many women as he could. There's no stability, there's no structure. We held it together the best we could, but they were working their hardest to tear it apart. So we come into, nowadays we got to understand that we come into family building, the black man having relationships with the black woman with a lot of psychological impediments. And if we're not prepared to work like hell to get through those impediments, the families are always going to fail. Because the families are under attack. We have historical things that impact our ability to have relationships. And we got to understand that when we're dealing with each other. That's why you can't just, it's not going to be peaches and cream between a black man and a black woman. I say that's the most powerful team because it is. God made the black man for the black woman and the black woman for the black man. That being said, there has been a lot done to both of us to turn us against each other, right? And until we sit down and study our history, study what they've done to both of us, study what's going on spiritually and mentally with both of us, we have to understand that when we're dealing with each other, it's going to be divorce after divorce. So just because you get in a relationship with a black woman like I'm advocating right here, that don't mean it's going to be peaches and cream. Is it, Vern? Mm. Is my marriage all peaches and cream?
I can't speak on that.
That's a smart answer. But I can tell you right now it's not. But I know it's worth it. And I know what forces are acting against us. And so you have to be thoughtful and you have to be strategic and you have to be God-like in your approach. Because if God can work with us, with all the crazy stuff we do, I know you can work with this woman. Now, does that mean that no marriage is going to fail? No. What I'm saying is that when you get in this relationship, you better be ready to deal with some mess because both of y'all going to bring some mess to the table because the white man done a job on us, okay? All right. Now, I'm going to close the marriage talk off by telling you the mandates for marriage. If you don't believe me saying we ought to be pushing for marriage, maybe you'll believe the Bible. Now, a lot of my conscious community has abandoned the Bible, but my black Christian community is still with it. I don't know how you be a black Christian and have a first man and have a pastor and a first gentleman, right? I don't know how you be in the Christian community and be sleeping around, not even stunned about marriage. You know what I'm saying? But the Bible says to be fruitful and multiply. The Bible says it's better married than to burn. The Bible says that a man is supposed to have one wife. The Bible says that. Well, my conscious community, you have the It tells you what you're supposed to be doing. So nothing outside of this should, all my Kemetic people, my 42 laws of Miyat, or my 42 native confessions, you know what you ought to be doing. You ought to be forming families. And when you come to me telling me how much of a conscious black man you are, and you don't have a black queen with you, I'm going to have to be a little bit weary. A black queen is a prerequisite to black manhood. And I'm just talking about when you become a man. I ain't telling you to rush, but you ought to know you need to have that. And like I said, when our movements were the strongest, we had families. When you had the Panthers, when you had the Nation of Islam, when you had Dr. Martin, you had Robert F., we had families to build that on, right? So I think the family wins. Who wins, the family or baby mamas and baby daddies?
Family.
Okay, we're going to go with families. Now, let's get to the the more interesting part. Let's get to the deadbeat dads, right? Now, Sadiq is sitting in the back right there. Stand up, Sadiq. Sadiq is one of the most charismatic, one of the most hardworking, respectful young men in all of BPM. Okay? How do I know? He basically lives with me. All right? I hate Pride Month. I got snapped on today for saying I hate Pride Month. Who snapped on you, lady? Who snapped on you? Tell me who snapped on you. I just hope it wasn't your mama, because that's the only person I can't attack. I can attack anybody else. Who snapped on you, Deanne, for saying you hate Pride Month? And who the hell made this Pride Month anyway? And why didn't they at least say gay pride so we'll know what kind of pride they're talking about? But let me get back to what I was talking about with the deadbeat dad. Europeans! Give me this book from under here. Deanne, what the hell you think a European gonna do when you talk about Pride Month? I want to. This is a good segue to promote this book by Dr. Imlamu Baruti, Homosexuality and the Feminization of the Black Male. Deanne, you brought up the topic, so anybody who wants to read more up on that, go get that book. All right, she said European. I ain't even gonna address that. All right, so we got Sadiq here. The reason I told him to stand up is because his dad, his biological, you see, now this is why the women start hating the black man, because of men like his biological father. This is why they start calling them sperm donors. This is why they start calling us deadbeats. This is why we get a bad name, because of scumbags like this. Not Sadiq. Sadiq is a great guy. Sadiq, do you endorse, are you okay with me saying these things?
Yes, sir.
I think I can say them when I spend more money on Sadiq than his real damn daddy. Do I?
Yes.
Okay, so I think I can say these things. Now, I don't want to sound like an angry baby mama, but these are the things that our women are having to deal with, right? Sadiq, tell me what you think about the fact that your dad, this wasn't the first things in my point. Some of these men go up and start a whole nother life with a whole nother woman, some whole new kids. When you got other kids that you already made, you don't just get to wipe those out and press start over, right? But go ahead, Sadiq. Tell them your feelings, man.
Oh, well, I think, say the question again.
Tell them your feelings on your dad, the one that's starting a whole new life in a whole nother state, and how that make you feel as a son.
Well, to me, it made me feel I'm still a woke man. It still doesn't matter to me, but I think his point of view, he was never woke. He never had nobody actually to tell him something, because he walked out on many opportunities
Mm-hmm.
and he walked out and went to somebody else, and
So you
destroyed his life.
so you said it doesn't bother you?
No, it doesn't bother me.
Has it ever bothered you?
Mm.
So it you've always been just fine.
Yep, just fine.
And why is that? Why are you able to handle it so well? Because it bothers some kids.
Well, I handled it well because I got BPM. But if I never had BPM, I probably would felt some type of way.
But because of BPM, you're able to get on with it.
Yes, sir.
So let me ask you: if you saw him now, what would you like to say to him?
I probably would say that I was just handling my business.
You wouldn't say nothing to him?
Mm-mm.
So if I saw him and I punched him in the mouth, how would you feel about that?
I'll help you.
I don't need no help, big fella. All right. Now let me give everybody a definition of deadbeat dad before we start going in on them. Because some of you women don't have a deadbeat in your life, right? Some of you women have a man that's trying to be a part of his child's life and you pushing him away. Some of you don't understand what a deadbeat is. Some of you think just because he's not with you, that makes him a deadbeat. Hell no. That's not the definition of a deadbeat. I'm going to give you the definition of a deadbeat. A deadbeat is a man that willfully abandons his duty as protector and provider for his children, right? Just because he leave you, that don't mean he abandoned that. And his duty to teach his sons their identity. The main job that a black father has, particularly when he has sons, is to give that boy his identity, to let that boy know who he is and what he's supposed to be. That's the dad's job. Only the dad can do that. Only the dad can teach him what black manhood is, to show him what black manhood is, and make sure he develops into a real black man. The mom can't do that. She can be a provider. She can step up and she can teach him and show him, but she can't role model it, right? So when you walk away from that responsibility, you're a deadbeat. Also, one who buckles and gives up under the hardships of fatherhood. Just because you say, I'm trying, but I just can't do it, you're still a deadbeat. Because fatherhood is hard, right? Unless you got a really great black wife like mine, then it's mostly easy. But if you're not married, now you got a baby mama, and you haven't set your life up in a way that you're financially secure, it's much harder. So what? It's hard. You still got the kids. You got to take care of them. They didn't ask to be here. Okay? Now, and also one who is immature, inconsistent, and neglectful in his duties as a father. Right? Just because you're there sometimes on Father's Day, Christmas, and Thanksgiving, just because you roll up every now and then, that doesn't make you a good father. You still a deadbeat. Wanna know why? If I roll up to the gym sometimes, just on special occasions, I'm going to be fat. Right, Zeke? Mm-hmm. If I just pay my light bill every now and then, sometimes, I'm not going to have any lights. Am I right, Zeke?
Correct.
The only way you can have lights is to pay your light bill every month on time. The only way you can be a good dad is to be there for your children day in and day out on time. You don't get to have spring break when you have children, do you see? So if you immature, inconsistent, and neglectful in your duties, you just too willing to let the mom do it, you still a deadbeat. I don't care if you show up and buy a pair of school shoes. That ain't shit. And most of y'all buy Michael Jordan shoes anyway, so that's even worse. But anyway, I ain't going to get into that. They can see the BPM back there now. So I'm going to give you a few clear-cut signs that a guy is a deadbeat dad. If he says these things too often, if you say these things more than once a week, you're probably a deadbeat. Your child comes to you to ask you for something. You say, I ain't got it. Go ask your mom. You're probably a deadbeat. Because a real man prides himself on being able to provide. And even if he can't provide everything, he's going to say, okay, I got half of it, right? Can we get the rest from your mom? Or I got this one. I wasn't able to do it last time, but I'll get the next one. These deadbeat dads just be like, go get it from your mom. The hell are you talking about? She can't do everything, right? Nah. This is another thing the deadbeat dad say. The kids done pack their stuff to go with the daddy for the weekend, and his punk ass get on the phone talking about something else came up I got to do. What the hell else came up? Zeke?
I don't know what could have came up.
What can come up for a dad that's supposed to be spending this weekend with his children that could justify him not doing it? What could come up? Legitimate justification.
In the hospital.
You're about to die in the hospital. Your house caught on fire. Your car caught on fire, so you can't. It need to be a damn drastic emergency, but not. Oh, it's my homeboy birthday. We turning up, so I'll get you next weekend. You're a deadbeat. Okay, go on to the club, go have fun, but when you get there, you wear a shirt that says "I'm a deadbeat." Right? You with me on that, Sadiq? All right. Here goes another thing. You, this dad, right? This is another sign that you're a deadbeat. You can't afford to have your own home, right? So your kids can come with you when they're supposed to be there. Meaning you living with your mom or you living with a roommate who doesn't want the kids around. And I'm suspicious of any black man that's over 30 living with another man talking about that's a roommate. I'm suspicious of that. The hell you mean that's your roommate? Y'all grown as hell. Hey, that might be brought in a roommate, big fella. What you think, Vern?
Yeah, that's very suspicious.
That's suspicious, but anyway. So you living with a roommate, you living with your mom. You can't afford a home of your own, but you can afford Michael Jordan shoes. Right? Dude, this kind of stuff that make me mad. What you think, Sadiq?
Well, they spend more time spending money on shoes than their actual families. Was not a, you have to spend more money on your families first, and then forget about shoes.
Yeah. Your family ought to definitely come first. So if you got, okay, I'll make a rule. If you have 10 pair of Michael Jordan shoes and don't have your own place to stay, you a deadbeat. Y'all in on that? Y'all gonna back me up?
Yeah.
When they come after me, y'all gonna back me up? Okay. All right. I heard a dude say this. Now, this is the craziest thing I ever heard. And I want y'all to comment and let me know if y'all ever heard anything like this. I was at, okay, I admit, I'm still hood. I still do hood stuff. I like to go to the flea market and get my hair cut. Or at least I used to. Because the best barbers, the two best barbers that I met when I first got to Jacksonville were both located at the flea market. Shout out the Nike barber, Kevin Golden, and shout out my boy Dougie Fresh, who taught Kevin Golden. Those guys were phenomenal. But I was at the flea market, and I heard a guy say, and he was dead serious. He said, my baby mama got another nigga now and living in the house with her. So I ain't paying that hoe nothing. I said, huh? He said, she got another nigga she laying up in there with, so I shouldn't have to pay no child support. I said, what? I had to rub my eyes and my head. I was trying to really figure out if this guy was serious. He said that since she got a boyfriend and, you know, she's moved on, that he doesn't have to take care of his own children. I said, bro, what the hell that got to do with anything? Right? You still got children. So you telling the other dude got to take care of them? I really heard a guy say that. If you ever said that, you may not be a deadbeat now, but you were a deadbeat then. If you ever said that. All right. If you haven't visited your kid's school even one time this year, you're a deadbeat. I got another one for you. If you done been to the club more times than you done been to your kid's school, you're a deadbeat. Nah. How about that? Like that rule, Vern? Mm-hmm. Why would that be a problem? Why would that be a good rule?
Because you're putting more emphasis on pleasure than necessities.
Well, I'm glad he said something about pleasure because this is the next test. The next test is all about pleasure. If your baby mama is not fighting you on this, she's willing to let you be a part of your kids' lives and willing to, you know, be flexible and let you spend time with your children. She's willing, right? Because we're going to get to these baby mamas that aren't. But we're talking about when you have one that's willing. And you still spend more time getting high, getting drunk, and getting turned up. See, these are pleasures. Some people prefer marijuana. Some people prefer to drink. I prefer Ciroc. Some people like to go get turned up at the club and they like to do their thing. I'm not saying you can't ever do that, but what I'm saying is that if you're spending more time with your Hennessy or your Kush, what's the good weed now? Hydro, that's probably old by now. Purple Haze, what kind of good weed they got out now? I heard of some weed called Girl Scout cookie. You ever heard of it? If you're spending this much time on those things, you spending more time doing that than you spend with your kids, you're a deadbeat dad. And, Vern, what have we concluded that ought to be the punishment for deadbeat dads?
Talking about the group we came up with?
No, not the group. What should be done to all deadbeat dads?
They should be, I forgot, exile.
He said exile. I think they deserve to die.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a true deadbeat and you willfully abandon your children and you leave that woman to do it herself, I ain't saying you got to be with the woman because I understand that. But if you're a willful deadbeat who leaves the mother of your children to fend for themselves, right? Your daughters can't look for you for protection. Your sons have to figure out how to be a man on their own. If they fall on hard financial times, you ain't even nowhere to be found. Hell, they ain't even heard from you in years. When you become a true deadbeat like that, the Bible says that a man who doesn't take care of his family is worse than an infidel. So even under biblical principles, you are one sick, despicable individual. And under BPM principles, you deserve to die. Somebody said castrate him. Dang! You can never be too rough on deadbeat dads. How about that? Now, I'm not talking about dads that are trying. I'm not talking about dads that are putting forth effort and struggling. There's nothing wrong with struggling. I'm talking about the ones that walk away. Right? Like Bull, what's the damn man name? Bull Samuel Thomas. Samuel Bull Thomas. Any combination of those words, you're a deadbeat dad. You're a sorry ass son of a bitch. Nah, take that to the bank and cash it. And I'll back that up. We can meet up in Jacksonville, anywhere in Duval County or Orlando or somewhere in between. Because I heard you live in North Carolina with a European trailer woman. Right? So you live in North Carolina, Bull Samuel Thomas, with a European trailer woman. I'll come out to the trailer parks. We can meet out there. Now you might have some of the alt-right out there. I don't know how you go live in it. Anyway, let me get back to what I was about to do. So moms, what can you do if you're dealing with a deadbeat dad? Well, moms, I got some bad news for you. You're in a real tough position because it's no way to make a man be a man. There's no way to make an immature guy be a dad. Do you know of a way, Z? What if we made a law that said you have to come pick the kids up one day a week? Would that be a good law?
I mean, it still wouldn't be enough.
It wouldn't be enough. And anyways, how do you know what he's going to be doing with the kids when he has them? You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If you forcing me to do something to me, I ain't want to do it. Yeah. Right? So now I got the kids like, go over there and sit up. You know what I'm saying? Moms, if you find yourself with a deadbeat, you're in a rough position because this is what you could do. You could either do the ghetto mom route, call his phone all the time, post mean things on Facebook, put sugar in his gas tank, bust the windows out of his car, cuss out his new girlfriend. You could make his life miserable. You could do that. But that's not going to help the kids. That's not going to make him be a man. But maybe you get a little payback, right? Or you could put him on child support and they will destroy him. He'll eventually, if he can't pay, he'll eventually lose his license. I done seen some guys with $50,000, $60,000 worth of debt be locked up in and out of jail. You can put him on child support. And if you can't pay it, they'll destroy him for you, which that's what they want to do. But again, that doesn't make him be a good dad. Do you see? So it's kind of a lose-lose. And you could, the other thing you could do is just be a good mom, do the best that you can, and leave the door open to come in and leave the door open for him to come in and play the role that he's supposed to play whenever he gets himself together. Now that's going to be hard because you're going to have to carry the burden financially, spiritually, mentally, physically, all this work you have to do. And you don't demonize him, you leave the door open for him. That's the mature route. That's the best route. That's hard to do. Right? And so the mothers are put in a very tough position. Now, I advocate the mature route. You Vern?
Oh, yeah.
And why do you think the mature route is the best?
Because I feel like it gives the children the best chance to benefit from a mother and father.
That's right. The children. African people are children-centered people. African children are children-centered people. And we always got to do what's best for our kids. Hey, let me tell you something. As a man, it's sometimes where I want to go to the club and turn up, waste money. Now, let me tell you, I could always find a new gun that I want, right? And even as a married man with the Holy Spirit, I see beautiful women walking around every day. Don't we, Vern?
Mm-hmm.
I could always use a new gun or a new woman, but that's going to be very detrimental to my family if I'm wasting all my money on guns, right?
Yeah.
And that's going to destroy my family if I decide I want a couple of new side chicks, right, Vern? You think Melanie would agree to that? It's going to be stuff flying around the house. I'm going to have to move on. And who's going to hurt the worst?
The baby.
Journey and Sage. Right? So you can't always do what you want to do when there's children involved. So that's why I advocate the mature route. I haven't bought a gun in a while. And I don't ever buy guns before I handle my business as a father because I have enough guns and the kids can't be going out because I have a gun. The kids can't be doing without because I have a gun addiction. So I prefer the mature route. And last but not least, women, I think that you should be smart enough to enlist the help of the organizations, the real organizations, and the real men out there that are willing to step up and be a benefit to these young boys. One such organization is BPM, right? I know some moms that they willing to say, hey, I know I can't handle this boy, y'all help me with him, and we gonna do it. But some of these moms so stupid, they don't want you to punish them, they don't want you to yell at them, what the hell you want me to do? Take this damn boy home, you know what I'm saying? Since you know best, all right. How do you know using nationality in court is a waste of time? All right, we must have a more. We have a more. I'm not getting into that on here. But ladies, the best thing that we can do, and this is what we teach our girls in BPM, this is what we're going to teach, this is what all girls should know, this is what all the ladies should know. The best thing you could do, what is it, Z?
What?
What is the best thing ladies could do?
Oh, not let down with the deadbeat in the first place.
Baby! He already won $100 from me Saturday, so I ain't giving him nothing else. But he just gave you the best answer ever. It's all about the pre-screening process. Pre-screening process. Before you lay down with this guy, this is the only way to protect yourself. The Bible says that you're not supposed to have sex before you get married. Nowadays, that a lot of people find that to be out of style, right? Mm-hmm. Well, if you're not going to be able to reach that standard, before you lay down with this guy, you need to really know him. And I'm talking about know him, because he can ruin your life. He can kill you. Better check out the Atlanta AIDS rate, down low lifestyle, AIDS everywhere. But we ain't going to get into that right now. Before you lay down with this guy, how long have you known him, right? What does he do for a living? What does he have? And this is the question that I always ask. What has he shown ability to commit to? Right? What has he shown an ability to do consistently, day in, day out, week in, week out, year in, year out? Because being a good dad or a good husband is all about commitment, right? And you'll go lay down with a guy who has never shown you any commitment to anything, who you barely know, just because he had on some expensive True Religion jeans and Michael Jordan shoes in the nightclub, and you like his swag, right? How important is swag on the scale of 1 to 10, Zeke?
Maybe a 2.
What do you say, Sadiq?
1.
1. Okay, you got a 2 and a 1. So we'll say a 1.5. You say you like his swag, but I've been married for 4.5 months, maybe 5 years now. I don't keep track. Don't tell my wife that. I've been married for some years. We've gone through ups and downs. We've had little, we've had a lot. Let me ask you this, Zeke. How many months were Melanie and I able to go out to the bank and pay our bills with swag? They don't take swag. Do they? They don't take swag. Every time I go to put some gas in my car, they want money, not swag. Right? Every time I go to pay my car note, they don't take swag. They don't care if I got on Michael Jordan shoes or Payless shoes. They don't take swag. All right? Okay. Now, so the first question I want you to ask before you sleep with a guy, has he committed to you? Is his mind on marriage? And what has he shown a commitment to? Did he finish school, go to college and finish college? That takes commitment, 3 or 4 years, right? Does he have a particular trade and he's working in that industry and he's been working in there for 5 or 6 years? That takes commitment, right? Mm-hmm. What has he done for more than 5 years consecutively? If the answer is nothing, he's probably not into commitment. And if he's not into commitment, you're picking a guy that's going to be potentially the father of your child who has no experience with commitment. Then you're going to get mad when the sorry bastard want to go turn up at the club and your kid ain't even got no school shoes and ain't even got no book bags, pencils, and papers. So you got to screen these bastards because they're 90% of men, and I'm going to go as far as to say 95 are dogs. Do you agree with that, Vern?
Yes.
I done been around black men, white men, old men, athletes. I done been in the ghetto. I done been on a college campus. I done been in a fraternity, been in the church. 95% of men are dogs. Now, I gave you the statistic. Now, you go develop a test to screen out the dogs. And if they have never committed to anything, and if their mind is not on marriage, they're just talking about, I'm trying to have fun. Right? We could just be friends. No, the hell we can't. There are no such thing as a male friend for a woman. Either he wants to sleep with you, or he wants to benefit you in some way, or he's gay. The only men that have female friends, that's just not that's 98, 99% of the time, that's a lie. Want to be no friends? Yeah, friends with benefits. Right? So take that to the banking cabinet. The best thing you could do is screen these bastards and don't get in this situation. Because once you got you a deadbeat dad, it's kind of like having a real bad STD that won't go away. It really messes up your life. You agree with that, Vern?
Yeah.
Did I miss anything about this pre-screening process? Can you add to that? My focus was on commitment. Is there anything else they should focus on?
I guess don't get misled by words.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like somebody sweet talking and stuff like that. You gotta go off actions.
That's great information there, because those men show like professionals at talking. I know some kids like, nah, I ain't gonna go there. Sadiq, do we have anything that you can add to the pre-screening process?
You gotta see if the man have what he accomplished.
This person keep asking me, Wes, okay, is Henry 57? What's the use in claiming nationality in court? This is what I want you to do then. I want you to go get Philando Castile's family, and get them to go in there saying that they're Moors and see if that helps them out. I want you to come get one of my clients who's accused of murder or some other crime and see if him claiming a nationality helps him out. What the hell are you talking about? Mauritania is not coming to save you anymore. Okay, maybe that was once the case, but that's not the case anymore. So put it like this. Get pulled over by the police and tell them you're a Moor and see if that helps you from getting killed. Because I bet they don't give a damn. Quit asking me that stupid shit. Nah, let's get back to what I was doing. Talking about claiming nationality. You better claim black nationalism and get the hell out of here. But, man, they got me. I let them get me that time. I lost my composure. That happens sometimes. You keep asking me the same damn question. About to get blocked. I got an extra thing in here. I'll go block them right now. Nah, enough for the deadbeat dads. Let's get to the ghetto drummer baby mamas. What's a ghetto drummer baby mama, Sadiq?
Well, that's how I put this. Probably when a man get pregnant with the
A man get pregnant?
My bad. Was man.
He been watching too much Tyler Perry.
When they makes a family, and then the woman, the lady always saying he did something bad, and then she walk out, and then she go to another man, and I don't know how to explain it.
A woman. So you just said a woman that's not committed to the family.
Yeah.
What you say, Z?
Well, it's a woman who seems to thrive off of the shortcomings or any problems that may occur. It seems like she gets some kind of rush out of
conflict.
Yeah, conflict. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, he said a woman that gets a rush off of conflict. All good, all good. My definition of ghetto drummer baby mama is a hurt. That's number one. Hurt. A lot of these women with these issues have been hurt. Hurt as young girls, hurt throughout their lives, and they haven't dealt with that hurt yet. So my first word is a hurt. Immature. Immaturity is the one word that keeps coming up in this conversation. Hurt, immature, angry, and selfish, insecure woman who wants to have a man just to be able to say she has one, and will put her desire to get back at her baby daddy over what's in the best interest of her children. Right? So let's start with hurt. A lot of our girls go through immense hurt. They don't have a loving father that boosts their confidence. They don't have that father figure to protect them. A lot of them are molested. A lot of them are just taken advantage of as young girls, because as men, we do that. As a man will come along and take advantage of a young girl if there's no father that'll punch him in the face. Right? So a lot of these women who become these scorned baby mamas have been hurt. Number two, they're immature. They haven't been taught real womanhood. They haven't been exposed to what a real mother and a real wife is like. And so in that area, they're just immature. They don't know. They're angry, right? Because a lot of these guys done sweet talk them and promised them the world and then giving them nothing. They didn't screen them properly. So they're angry and they're selfish. Why do I say selfish? Because even if you're all those things, you should still put the child first, right? I didn't have an ideal upbringing. My dad was a drug addict, went to prison, beat my mom. We had to fight him. We've been up without lights. We've been without water. I've been through a lot of hell as a child, haven't we, Vern? Mm-hmm. What's one of the hells you've been through as a child?
We had no cable.
No That ain't no hell. That's a slight inconvenience. Of course we couldn't afford no cable. How you gonna have cable with no lights? This man said we ain't have no cable. Oh my God. All right, so what I'm saying is despite all the things that I've been through, that doesn't matter. I still have to do what's in the best interest of Journey and Sage. I can't say, well, my daddy was a terrible dad. He beat my mom and beat my ass, so I'm gonna beat up my wife. Right?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not how it works. So these women are a ghetto drummer baby mama is selfish, and the same thing for a deadbeat dad. He's selfish, and this is the thing about the baby mamas. Like we said about the mature route, you could go off, do your best for the children, and just tell the dad, hey man, when you get your stuff together, come on in here and spend some time with these children. You could leave the door open for him without going after him and making his life miserable. But a ghetto drummer baby mama ain't gonna do that because she's more worried about payback. Right? And same thing for a deadbeat dad. Now, I've been practicing family law for 5 years. And I've watched what the ghetto moms do, and I've watched what the mature moms do. Finding a lot of men outside of my race willing to be in a committed relationship. Man, get the hell out of here. That man outside of your race looking at you like Sarah Bartman. You better go look at the hot knot Venus. They saying, look at her, she got a big butt, she got some exotic hair. They're looking at you like Thomas Jefferson looked at his little slave, black sex slave that he had. Thomas Jefferson had a black sex slave that he just took everywhere with him and had sex with him because white men have always been attracted to our women. And then they pretend like they love them, but then we find out a lot of these men are really racist and really just want have a little fetish. Really just have a little fetish. I don't buy into that crap. Look what happened to Halle Berry. White men don't love no black woman. Get the hell out of here. That's better go read about Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings. I ain't gonna get into that. But got me all off track again. Yeah, this is the main thing that we find out when they're immature, either a deadbeat dad or a baby mama. We're gonna have to start that one over in a second. The first thing they say when the other person moves on is, I don't want that bitch around my son. I don't want that nigga around my daughter. Shut the hell up. Start that over. All right. We had to get the Instagram live back going. But I'm telling you, I'm giving you the key. Whenever I hear a mother or a father say this to Car, Brandon said he's a baby in the wilderness. Talk about cable. All right. Whenever I hear a mother or a father say this, because their baby mama went and got a new man, or their baby daddy went and got a new woman, whenever I hear them say this, I'm going to let the Instagram folks get back in here before I go with this, because this is the key for tonight. This is a dead giveaway. Like the tall black dude said, a little white girl running up to me, that's a dead giveaway. There's something wrong. That's a dead giveaway. All right. They're coming back in. They're coming back in on Instagram. All right, so let's do this. Whenever you hear the baby's dad say, well, I ain't worried about you, but I don't want that nigga around my child. Bruh, you don't even be around your child. Or you hear the ghetto baby mama say, I don't like that bitch. I don't want... If you're going to take my son around, you ain't got to see him. Okay, first of all, this got nothing to do with your son, right? This got everything to do with you trying to use the child as a manipulation tool. You don't want the other person to move on. You don't want them to be free and more happy without you. So you say, I'm going to use the child to make sure that doesn't happen. So you make them choose between their own child and the person who they're moving on with. That's a dead giveaway that you an immature ghetto baby mama or a deadbeat dad. That's a dead, if you ever say that. Because unless this new person is some type of rapist or child molester or messed up, and you don't even know this new person. Talk about, I don't want my child. Did you ever go meet the new person? No. You just don't want that other person to move on. So that's a dead giveaway. You agree with that, Vern? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now some of these moms, there was a guy from the Kansas City Chiefs. He was a linebacker. I think his name was Belcher. And I got a hold of some footage. And it was basically his girlfriend of either his wife, I think it was his girlfriend. She was a European though, he was black. And she basically told him that if you're gonna be cheating on me and we're not gonna be together, you'll never see your kids again. So, this guy wasn't really into that type of thing. He didn't take kindly to being threatened with his own children. So what the Kansas City linebacker did is he killed her and then he killed himself, right? Because he wasn't a deadbeat dad. He loved his children. But this woman was so vindictive that she said, if you're not going to be with me, you'll never see your children again. Well, ladies, you better be careful with that shit stuff. I'm trying to curse too much, but I have to call it what it is. You play that game? You play that game with some of these men? Oh, you better be ready for what could come from it. That's immature, that's vindictive, and that's despicable. You tell a guy, if you're not going to be with me, you'll never see your kids again, that guy might do something crazy. And that's on your dumb ass. Because you got the power to leave him. You got the power not to be in a relationship with him. That's okay. You don't have to ever talk to him again. But that doesn't mean you take purposeful actions to keep him from ever being around his children. That ain't got nothing to do with you. With your dumb self. Vern?
I agree. Children shouldn't be used as tools just to have the upper hand.
What about you, Sadiq? What you say?
I mean, if this was me, I don't think my kids would have had to go through this.
Baby! And why they wouldn't?
Because I would be with my wife and with my kids. And
that eliminated a lot of this mess. Being married and faithful would eliminate a lot of this. We wouldn't be having this conversation. Sadiq just closed that lesson. Amen. We can all go home. He said that if that was me, my kids wouldn't have to go through that because I'm going to be married and faithful to my wife, and we're not going to be dealing with this type of issue with infidelity and all that stuff. Sadiq, let's give Sadiq a round of applause. Because he's right. But Sadiq, this is not the situation we're dealing with right now. If all the black men got with the black woman and were faithful and they built all these great black families, we wouldn't be in the situation we're in right now. I wouldn't need 25 guns all around my house. We would be in a much better situation. So we're dealing with where we are right now. I know you're going to do the right thing though, right?
yes, sir.
Pound that. Zeke?
Yep.
That's called the pledge of the Ankh. They just took the pledge of the Ankh. One black man, one black woman, under one black God, raising some beautiful black children. The pledge of the Ankh. Y'all in with that? 38 no kids for damn good reason. I wish it wasn't so. I wish I wouldn't have to be 38 with no kids for damn good reason. We're supposed to be fruitful and multiply. But I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying. All right. So, you stalk. This is another thing the ghetto baby mamas do. They stalk the new girl. Or they all in her Facebook. You gotta move on and get a new girlfriend. You so pissed off. You stalking a new girlfriend. You all on her Facebook. You cussing her out. She ain't had nothing to do with this. She had nothing to do with this. And so that's another thing they do. They tell the man cop they make his life hell. So Dad, again, the best thing you can do to avoid these situations is pre-screen. Now I've had guys who came to me for child support cases. This is multiple clients, and I've asked them. They say this woman is immature. I call her and tell her I'm coming to get my son. She'll say okay. By the time I get there, he gone somewhere else. She tells my son not to call me dad. She tells my son that someone else is his dad. She take the child support money and spend it on something she's not supposed to. She makes my life a living hell. I say, okay, big fella, let's go back to the beginning. where did you meet this woman? And when did you decide to make a baby with her? Oh, man, I met her in the club. I said, what made you want to have a baby with her? Man, we were just drinking and we did what we did. But there you go. Nah, right? If I just went to a car lot, a used car lot, spent around 3 times and bought the first car that came up, how the hell do I know what I'm buying? This damn car might not have an engine in it. Do you see? Well, you go to the club drinking and doing what the hell you doing, you go sleep with this woman, she might not have a brain. Right? Now we at the root of this thing. You better pre-screen. Just like I told the women to pre-screen, the man better pre-screen. This man say it's 2nd degree assault. Is this man really in the middle of our ghetto drama baby mama trying to get free legal advice about a crime that ain't got nothing to do with the discussion? Big fella, I'm going to tell you like a nigga told me. You need a lawyer. All right. Hey, Mom. Hey, Sister Sylvia, how you doing? All right, no more cursing. Zeke, no more cursing, Zeke. All right. So, now, my last section of this discussion is legal, lawful routes of recourse for black dads who want to be a part of their children's lives, who want to be good fathers, and are being hampered by disgruntled baby mothers or either crushed by child support. Okay, dads, this is what I want to tell you. I'm going to give you some free legal tips that you could take. I ain't going to call it legal advice. I'm going to call it legal tips. And I'm speaking from the perspective of a lawyer in Florida. So I don't know what it's like in North Carolina, South Carolina, Mississippi, Arkansas. But I imagine it's pretty similar. Okay? Number one, what a lot of men don't know is that if you're not married to the mother of that child when that child is born, although you still have rights, you have no way to enforce those rights because you have to go in and get your rights established. Meaning you could be paying child support for a child and have no rights to that child as a father and rights to time with that child unless you go into court and get your rights established. Right? So, number one, yes, you have rights as a father, but those rights are not enforceable or effective until you go in and get yourself established as the father through paternity proceedings. That's number one. Now, I'm not going to give you the whole kit and caboodle, but I'm going to give you some basics. You have rights, but you have to get them established before they can be enforced. All right? Now, let me give you another thing. As I said, you could be paying child support on the child and have no right to see that child. Hope y'all got that. Just because you are paying child support on the child, that doesn't mean you have any guaranteed visitation, time sharing, or anything with that child. None. Until you go down and get your rights established through court. Okay, this is in Florida. All right? Now, another thing that you need to know about these baby moms, she doesn't have to go down and put you on child support in order for you to be put on child support. Okay? Just because you're on child support, that don't mean your baby mama did it. If she goes down to get any kind of public assistance, food stamps, housing, benefits, any of that, the state can and will come after you themselves. Right? She didn't have to say nothing about I want to put him on child support. State of Florida say, okay, well, you getting some food stamps, you getting some aid from us, cash aid. We going to find the daddy. Who's the daddy? Who the daddy? We going after the daddy. Right? So now you ain't got no rights established to this child. You don't have any right to time with this child, and they cutting your check up before you even get to it. Okay? So it's best to be proactive. So men ask me, so what I'm supposed to do? Go down and put myself on child support? Big fella, they gonna come for the child support. So it's best for you to go down and get your rights established, even if that means getting on child support, because that's coming anyway. Right? Now, here's the scariest thing that you men ought to be aware of. When they decide to go after you for child support, whether the mom requested it or whether the Department of Revenue, in Florida it's the Department of Revenue who goes after the dad for child support. When the Department of Revenue comes after you, they hire lawyers to work on the mom's behalf and go after you for child support. What do you mean? Well, imagine if you were accused of a crime and then the state had a prosecutor and you had no lawyer for yourself to defend you. That's exactly what it's like. When the Department of Revenue decides to come after you, they're going to have lawyers come. They have a lawyer coming after you to get as much as money as they can out of you, and you may have no lawyer. Right? So it's not the mom coming after you. It's the state of Florida through their own lawyer who knows what to say and what to do and what to file to nail you through the wall. Right? So you're going to need you a lawyer. Now here's the craziest thing. Once they get this lawyer on that case to come after your paycheck, what they're going to do is they're going to send out some papers to you, letting you know what they're about to do. And if those papers go to the wrong address, or if you get the papers and just don't fill them out, they're too complicated for you, you don't know what this is, you throw them on the counter somewhere, and you don't take the action you need to take, you don't go get a lawyer, that's what you need to do. If you don't take action on that, that lawyer for the state Department of Revenue and that mother are going to go on through with what they're doing, and your ass is going to be on child support. They're going to start taking that money out they check, and you're not going to know what happened. Okay? You ain't never had your day in court. You don't know what happened. You didn't get to go in and argue. All you know is your check used to be $750. Now it's $350. That's all you know, right? So if they send out this paperwork, you don't get it and respond, they keep moving, okay? So it's best for you to be proactive. If you find out you might have a baby, right? Get you a lawyer. Go down, if it's yours, get your rights established. Get your time with that child. Make sure your ducks are in a row because they're going to move without you. And I'm going to let you know this. Now, my wife said I might go too far by giving out this information, but I'm going to give out a little bit more. When they're determining how much of your money to take, they go by a simple calculation. It's a computer calculation. And into that calculation, they put in a few factors, and whatever that computer spits out, that's how much you owe. What are those factors? One of them is your income. So a couple other main factors that go into that. That lawyer working for the state knows how to put those factors in to make sure you're paying as much as you can. And that lawyer is not going to say nothing about getting you time with your child. He's not your lawyer. He's not on your side. So, men, if you don't want to be proactive and get you a lawyer, and this is the thing, I always have guys ask me, well, what if I can't afford a lawyer? Well, how the hell you can afford a child? That make no damn sense to me. You got children, you should have some money. If you don't have any money, why the hell you got 3 children? But it's not just that simple. I know everybody ain't got $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 laying around. If you ain't caked up like that, which a lot of us aren't, believe me, Big Awesome came from the ghetto. You got to find you a lawyer that'll take a payment plan. Plenty of lawyers take a payment plan. You make a down payment, you pay some more, pay some more. They're not all going to make you come up with it up front. I don't make all my clients come up with all the money up front. I know it's tough on people out there. So as a service to my community, I accept down payment, installment payments. Lawyers can do that. They're not all going to make you come up with a couple of thousand up front. So quit thinking that, right? Just lay off the Jordans for a few months, get you a down payment, go into them, tell them, look, this is what I got, this is what I can pay every week, every 2 weeks. There's lawyers out there that'll take that and go in and fight for your rights. Or You can just keep getting half of your check taken before you even see it and still have no time with your children and just see your son whenever the mom feels like it. That's your other option. Right? So, anything you want to add to that, Vern? Vern's not a lawyer, but anything you want to add to that?
Do what you gotta do. Your kids need you a lot, so you gotta make a way out of no way. That's all.
What about you, Sadiq?
Guess they will.
Stay woke. Sadiq said I'm a woke man. Well, guys, I hope we covered some of this stuff about the baby daddies and the baby mamas. But again, I have to close by saying this should not be our aim. This will not be our aim. This cannot be our aim. Sadiq, how many baby mamas you gonna have? None. Cause why?
I'll be married.
Oh, so you gonna have a what?
A wife.
Zeke, how many baby mamas you gonna have?
0.
0. And this is how I'm gonna close this out. This is what I'm gonna say to the black men out there. The fathers, the uncles, the nephews, the older cousins, the big brothers, the what have you. Stop teaching our boys that it's all right to have 2, 3, 4 different baby mamas. Stop teaching our boys that it's cool and you get cool points for sleeping around. Stop teaching our boys that anything other than marrying a black woman and raising a black family is acceptable. Stop doing it. Because that's not culture. That's degenerate. It's not conducive to building black families. And as long as we're not building black families, we're not doing nothing right. So how about having some standards again? Right? And last but not least, this is what I want you to do. If you're a black man and you got some homeboys, right? And you find out one of your homeboys ain't paying his child support, he ain't spending no time with his child, he ain't been out to the child's school, but he in the damn club, right? Stop hanging with that punk. How about that? The next time you want to get together, drink, hang out, barbecue, say, hey, where your son? When the last time you seen your daughter? Do you know what's going on with your child? You want to hang the hell out? Yeah, if we can do this as men, we don't even need the government to come in and do this for us. We could do this. Tell them, look, bro, you don't spend no time with your children. You can't hang around me. I've had to tell people that. Your principles don't line up with mine. How the hell I'm sitting here talking about the black family and I'm hanging out with a deadbeat dad? Okay, you want to barbecue? Go get your son and bring him to the barbecue. Right? We can enforce some standards. We can get standards again. But we all just don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I'll hurt anybody's feelings. Damn it, I'll hurt my own feelings. Will I hurt your feelings, Vern?
Yes.
Have I ever hurt your feelings?
Yes.
When I hurt your feelings?
I don't remember, but I know what happened.
What about you, Sadiq? Have I ever hurt your feelings?
Yes.
When? Soon.
Recently.
We gotta stop being so scared to hurt anybody's feelings. Hell, that's how Donald Trump won. Donald Trump just went up there saying whatever the hell he felt like it, and he just said it, and he won. So stop being so damn scared. Tell him, look, I'm not gonna help you be a deadbeat dad. Nah. And nigga might say, well, you think you better than me? Then I'm gonna say, yeah. I take care of my kids. Get like me. Yeah, you want to have a competition? Yeah, I do. So next Wednesday we'll be back with another big discussion. This has been good. And I want y'all to come back next week. Next week is going to be crunk. It's probably going to be something black. No, it's going to be something black. It's going to involve manhood and womanhood, and it's going to be to the empowerment of our people. BPM for life. Don't forget, hand me some of my books. Where my books at? Go online. Get the Nothing to Show For It. Get Nothing to Show For It. It's already in your hand.
Oh.
Go online. Get your copies of the Blueprint to Black Youth Empowerment. If you want to know how to impact your community, if you want to know how to organize again, you want some information about our youth, that's my second book, available on Amazon and Kindle. And make sure you get your copy of Nothing to Show For. The Student Athlete's Rule Books for Success. I was once a student athlete before I became a thugged out attorney. So go get those books. Stay black, stay strong, and always remember, like Sadiq said, stay woke. And we out.
Dang, I should have seen 100 views the first one.
First had 155, I think.